tonight is the co-founder Aidella Africa Atat Charles. Welcome to the news tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Now, the craze for quick money among youth seems to have become a trend that is attractive to many young people, and this has led to their involvement in dubious means of making money. How did we get here?
First of all, thank you for having me, first of all. I think we got here because we've lost the value of where we are. First, family values have gone. There's been a grave for, financial upkeep, recognition. So from the home, you hear things like, no be your meat. And then we've rewarded bad behavior, cut across sectors and systems. And that's how we've gotten here, where people have lost their responsibility. And just looking at data alone, over 300 billion was lost in 2024, according to research by the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics on Ponzi schemes. And one would wonder, with the current economic realities, how much we're going to lose in 2026 and how much young people are going to, do I use the word, end their lives because of things that are not worth it.
Now, what does this portend for us for the future of these youths?
So when we have greed, we would have an increase in corruption. We all complain about corruption. What we don't talk about is that corruption is breeded from the family. So when your test is insatiable, you would have to go beyond the normal means to make that money. And when you do that, one would wonder what you can now do when you're in political office. I mean, from the research that Robinson did say on the news, we see people doing gamble. We see regulations encouraging them. There are countries in the world where you can't gamble. Qatar is one of them. They don't. The government doesn't even create room for you to be able to gamble. So we need to come as a nation and make policies as well that would make it ×3 difficult for anybody, regardless of the age, the gender, the religion, or the ethnicity, to be able to do these kind of things. Gambling and Ponzi schemes should not exist. Hence, at the end of the day, we would see high corruption, we'll see lives lost, we'll see robbery, we'll see insecurity keep going on.
Okay, now one of the respondents in that report we listened to earlier was saying that, in fact, I want to quote him. He said, these youths are doing this because there is no job. So for you, I know you work very closely with youths. Would you agree with that analogy that there are no jobs?
So I'm a young person. It depends on the lens of whoever is speaking. Are they jobs? Yes, they are. But are they difficult to find? Obviously, they are. And is it easy to get a job, in person, remote or not? It's not. And the reason is a lot of young people, and I'm speaking to my age mate, a lot of we young people are technically not prepared for those jobs. And realistically speaking, it's not really our fault, but it's also not the fault of the employers. Look at our educational curriculum. And I will use this opportunity to say, as a young person, you need to educate yourself. Yes, you are in school, but take extra curriculum studies necessary. Use your internet wisely instead of chatting and doing things that are not worth it. Research and learn, and be open to interning if you have that opportunity. When you have all of these things, the job will not be hard to find. There are tech skills that you can get as well: digital marketing, sales, and there are in-person roles, customer care relations. These are this is a job market that is open to everybody. But again, if they ask you to write a CV, or can you differentiate between a CV and a resume, that's the problem.
Okay, so now let's look at the impact of some of the things these youths do now. Well, how does it affect them in the future? I listened to you on one of your talks, and you were talking about the kind of things youths post online and how it affects them when they are ready to get into the world of employment. Can you just tell us a little about that?
Okay, so first of all, social media is now the current currency cut across the world. So we are no longer living in isolation. Whatever you post, whatever you write out, is something that can come back to haunt you immediately or 10 years from now, right? So you see, as a young person, you have to be conscious of what you see, physically and online. And sometimes you don't talk bad about people anyhow. Imagine somebody insulting the government and then looking for a government contract or a government job. You expect to get it. You imagine somebody saying certain things about certain religious affiliations and expecting to get gigs from these companies. Obviously, that's not going to work. Another thing we tend to say is we are in a generation where they say sorosoke. You are soaking with somebody that doesn't have the same background with you. So ask yourself, as a Nigerian, who is your father? What's your surname? You don't have a surname, you didn't go to a prestige institution. And I'm not calling out anybody, I'm just saying do a self-audit of yourself first before you make a post. Because yes, we're in a country where people will say justice system is selective. But really, is it selective, or is it that they have the financial resources and the legal backing to be able to get away with certain things? You don't. You don't have a surname, you don't have money, you don't have certifications, and you don't have any backbone anywhere politically wise or financial wise, and you want to engage with the same things that people do. No. Again, audit yourself. Imagine, before you make every post, every application, ask yourself, if somebody is to ask me this thing 3 years from now, will I be proud of it? If this person I'm insulting, if this body, if this organization, if this institution I'm talking about, if I'm to be in the presence of their boss, would I be able to repeat it? If the answer is no, swallow it in your stomach. And if you can't, enter your bathroom and shout. And then when you come out, you'll be fine.
Very interesting. Now, finally, let's just take your last word for youths. What must they do to come out of these Ponzi schemes and all of these illegitimate ways of making money, and how can they venture into the proper way of making it?
First, to youth, I will say, let us speak truth to ourselves. You don't have money to waste. Ponzi scheme, you already know, yes, things are hard. Lifestyle is hard. Today we are getting for over 1,300. There's no motivation for you to be normal. But ask yourself, you don't even have the money first to lose in the first place, which is what Ponzi scheme would do to you. Gambling has sent a lot of people to jail, which is another thing you want to be careful of. So ask yourself, do I want to go to jail? I want to enjoy the small freedom that I have. And when you do that, research on the skills that you can get online. Some of these things are free. Or find out a mentor. Speak to that mentor, get the skills relevant and apply for jobs. It might take you duration or years, but at the end of the day, hard work pays, and we've seen that cut across countries, cut across sectors. So at the end of the day, relax, everything is going to be fine.
That's a very good way to wrap up this conversation, and I must thank you so very much for finding time to be with us on the news tonight.